Welcome to Student, a series of animated calculus videos that will help you prepare for the AP exam. These videos were made by students for students.
Okay, today we're going to be talking about partial fraction decomposition. I just call it decomp for short. Decomp is an integration technique that we can use in Calculus BC. So this might be a little confusing at first, but I promise it's all going to make sense once we go through the examples. So we'll have anything, like it'll usually look like 1 or maybe an x, maybe a 2x over some factorable stuff. And that has to be not repeating, by the way. So then we can separate the 1 into the a plus b into the two binomials here that we have factored out. And then we can cross multiply it. So the 1 will be equal to the a times the x minus the number, or it could be x plus. We're just using the minus here in the example. And then b multiplied by that. Once we find the coefficients a and b, plug it back into the integral. And then we will end up with a natural log, whatever it was over, and then b natural log, whatever it was over. And then we can't forget the chain rule here, because say this was a 2x, we would have to put a 1/2 out front. So now for the example, it's going to make much more sense here. They give us a 2x over two binomials that have already been factored out. So we can make the 2x, we can just separate these two on the bottom and then put new coefficients out here that we have to find. So to do that, we would have to set the top 2x equal to a cross multiplied to x plus 1, and then b plus b times x plus 2. So to find b, we're going to put a -1 in for x to make a 0. That leaves us with b equals -2. To find a, we will plug in a -2 for b, which will make that 0, or for x, which will make b 0, and then we will get a equals 4. Plug those coefficients back into the integral. Then we end up with, you can't see it, but that's a 4 right there. Natural log absolute value x plus 2 minus 2 natural log absolute value of x plus 1 plus c, since it was indefinite, and it matches up with d. All right, now for the free response question 2015 5D. They give us a 1 over x squared minus 6x. We can separate that into 1 over x times quantity x minus 6. We want to be as formal as we can, just because it's an FRQ, show as much work as we can. We can separate that into a over x plus b over x minus 6. So we will get the top 1 equal to a times x minus 6 plus bx. So we get a equals -1/6, b is equal to 1/6. To do that, we just plug in whatever makes the other 0. So to find b, we plug in the 6 for x. That will make a 0, and then we can isolate b, find that to be 1/6. You can just put the coefficients in as they are up top, even if they're fractions, and then plug that into the integral. Then we get, you can't see it, but -1/6 natural log x plus 1/6 natural log absolute value x minus 6 plus c, since it is indefinite. And then now we look at the scoring guidelines. Partial fraction decomposition, 2 points for that. We found a equals -1/6, b equals 1/6. And then general antiderivative, we found that right here. Pretty much they did it the same way in the key. But we got the same final answer. And they would not take a point off for simplifying it like that. We can just leave it as is right here. It's the same exact thing. And for an FRQ, they will not take a point off for that.